Hi, this is Vic Mignogna, voice of Edward Elric in Full Metal Alchemist. Captain Kirk in Star Trek continues. And do you know what the best podcast is? I'm going to tell you. Five-ish Fangirls, yeah!
The tangents at Squee continue all the way to episode 80 of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. The only thing extraordinary is they got a chance to be heroes. You want to know who they are? Look in the mirror. They're you. They're me on our best night. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. So glad you could join us. Let's start off like we do every week by going on the virtual table and see who's joined us this week.
This is Brittany in Belvedere.
This is Chrissy in Salt Lake City.
This is Mitch in Kitchener, Ontario.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
This is Chrissy's last podcast as a miss.
Yep.
Next time we hear from her, she's going to be a missus.
Yep. I'm getting married on Thursday. It's still really surreal. I still don't quite... Part of me hasn't accepted that this is actually a thing that's happening, but I've been around a lot of my, soon-to-be in-laws today, and oh boy, they're like, are you ready? Are you ready? And we're talking about, last-minute details and preparations, and I'm like, I think so.
It's like, I don't know. I've never done this before.
This is all new to me, guys.
Yeah.
So, but I won't be here the next couple of weeks because honeymoon, and I've decided I'm totally turning off all phones, or internet, everything. I'm just not going to deal with anything except my new hubby and our little honeymoon vacation thing. So, yay!
Yay!
The world. Yes, thank you.
Fun.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
We'll hold down the fort while you're gone.
And I'm sure you will all do admirably, and I will tell you about it when we get back.
Yep.
Because part of what we're doing is we're going to Disneyland, which I'm like, ah!
I'm excited for you.
I haven't been to Disneyland in over 10 years, and I'm so happy and excited. I didn't actually expect, because when he asked me, like, what would you like to do? I said Disneyland, and that was actually more of a joke than anything. And I said, no, you planned something. Surprise me. He took me seriously, so... Yeah, but there's other things we're going to do, like Disneyland's going to be like the first 3 or 4 days. So anyway, enough about my upcoming nuptials. I guess we'll just go ahead and segue into the news, shall we?
Yep.
So, I'd heard rumors that this series was going to happen, but I hadn't heard for sure. But apparently it is for sure. There's a new 24 series. It's going to be called 24 Legacy. And however, it is not going to be with Kiefer Sutherland. It's not going to be Jack Bauer. There's going to be a new lead. And so basically what this is it's like going to join up with CTU like after Jack Bauer has, effectively, he's not dead, but he's like in prison somewhere. But I don't even think Kiefer Sutherland's going to be in it at all. So they have a new Jack Bauer-ish character, and the lead is a guy named Corey Hawkins. Which, if you've seen Straight Outta Compton and The Walking Dead, that name may be familiar to you. I have seen neither, so I don't know. But he's playing Eric Carter. And he says he's a strong and smart former Army Ranger who finds himself pulled back into action as his past comes calling for him in the present. He will eventually turn to CTU for help in saving his life and stopping what potentially could be one of the largest scale terror attacks on American soil. So far it's only a pilot episode has been ordered. So I guess they're going to wait and see. And it's been ordered by Fox. So on the one hand, it's Fox. On the other hand, it's 24, which has been a huge success for them in the past years. So basically, it's going to be the same real-time format, and they're going back to CTU because the last couple of series with Jack Bauer have not, like, CTU's kind of been dismantled pretty much, and it's been like with the FBI and Secret Service and other things. So I'm looking forward to them going back to CTU. It will be interesting to see like what new characters crop up and just how they do this, and we'll see if they still have the same chemistry as they did with the original. So I'm willing to give it a shot. I have no opinion other than that. I like 24. I like Jack Bauer. I like all the other characters. But all the other characters that I like are dead or on the run. So it'd be difficult for them to find a way to bring them back. So I'm willing for some new blood. I'm willing to see some new blood. See what they do.
It's been so long since I watched any 24.
I'm afraid I'll go back because I have not all the seasons on DVD. I have a few of them. I'm afraid I'll be like, this is my new old obsession, and I'll just eat it up, and I'll be like, why is it all gone? And my favorite seasons are 3, 4, and 5, and that's because I like Tony Almeida and Michelle Dessler. They were my favorite. And Chloe O'Brien is just amazing. Anyway, but Tony and Michelle, they were like, they were my OTP over there. They were the best. Even before they were an OTP, they were my OTP. And I was so mad what happened to them. Tony was still cool, but anyway. The end.
Yeah.
24's coming back in some iteration, and we have a lead. So that's the news.
Yeah. The rest, TBD.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to... Yeah, exactly. Let me get out my soapbox here for a minute.
For ranting, everybody, just get in line.
Here's your soapbox. Here's your soapbox. Here's your soapbox. I got my soapbox. We ready? Okay.
I don't need a soapbox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't do it.
It has no impact on you whatsoever.
Okay, I'm taking away your soapbox, and
you can save your soapbox for something.
Yes. Save your soapboxes. Save your soapbox for.
2 soapboxes for this.
Yeah. You might need it when we get to discussion later, but so have it on standby. Anyway,
Okay.
this. I don't even know where to start with.
The BBC is stupid.
Yes, the BBC has a long-standing history of making very stupid decisions when it comes to the way they do things as far as television. Exhibit A, erasing and throwing away copies of Doctor Who. Although back in the day, that was kind of the norm. Yeah. I can kind of give them that.
Getting rid of episodes in general.
Yeah.
When,
Exhibit B, handing over the rights to the theme song of Doctor Who after it had been canceled in the 80s.
It was kind of a fluster cluck for them, I think.
Yes. So, as it happens every January, as it happens at the beginning of every year, Netflix, rumors going around saying this is going to get dropped from Netflix, this is going to get dropped from Netflix. Doctor Who ultimately always ends up in these articles saying Doctor Who's getting dropped from Netflix, and
everybody panics and we're like, no, it's fine.
Yeah, and then a week later they're like, no, they've renewed the license, you're fine, the new season, whatever the most recent season was, will be up eventually. You worried for nothing. So
pretty much.
Same thing.
That's what we thought.
Yeah, same thing happens this year, and we wait. And even some people ended up publishing articles saying, yes, Doctor Who has been renewed for Netflix. A week later, all these articles start coming out saying Doctor Who is leaving Netflix.
And I'm sitting here going, well, it's still on Hulu because they put so much on Hulu, even classic Who. Mm-hmm, it's there. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's going to be on Hulu. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then
Hulu
is losing all of it.
They're losing Doctor Who.
And I'm like, okay, BBC, so you're taking it off Netflix, you're taking it off Hulu, and, you've taken a bunch of the classic Doctor Who DVDs and put them out of print, and even some, like Series 1 and 2, I think the DVDs are out of print, so you can only get them on Amazon for like, $1,000
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. I'm like, do you guys want us to pirate stuff? I even tweeted that to them in a fit of pique. I was like, I'm not condoning piracy, but you're making it very, very hard to get it legally.
Yeah.
And even with this newest move, you're still getting it hard to get it legally. And you want to know why? 3 letters, people. CBS has their own version of Hulu that you have to pay separately to get their content, because they don't put it on Hulu because they don't want to play ball, because they're just as dumb. And their streaming service is atrocious. It's just so bad. It's just, I don't know, like no, like, I'm not paying for this. You guys are idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no.
But
they won't put their stuff on Netflix or Hulu, and I'm like,
it's one thing for like the premium networks like HBO. I know has their own service like the HBO Now, because they are a premium channel. Like even if you just got basic cable, you don't get HBO. Yeah. So for your Game of Thrones people, they're willing to pay for it because it's a premium channel that you would have to pay for extra anyway.
Yeah, well, and Showtime, they started partnering with Hulu, so like if you pay an extra $12, you can get Showtime programming through Hulu. Mm. I mean, I don't have it, but it's available if I wanted it, but I don't. But it's okay, some people do. Yeah. Like, do something like that.
Yes.
Where you just tack on a little extra to your Hulu bill.
Right. Like, I would, we pay, $7.99 a month for Netflix. I would happily pay like $12.99 a month for BBC programming, if that's what it took to be able to get Doctor Who and Torchwood and Sherlock and all that. But
it's like, what? Like, why does the BBC think they can do their own streaming service?
Because HBO does it.
I mean, well, that's HBO. HBO is its own animal, and HBO has been its own animal since, time immemorial, since HBO was a thing. Yeah. It's always been that way. BBC, like, what are you doing? What do you think you are? You're not HBO. Get back over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, nobody. Yeah. Nobody. You guys are, idiots.
As of right now, as we're recording this, Doctor Who is still on Amazon Prime, although that is subject to change. So those of you that are paying whatever it is for Amazon Prime now, you're good for an indeterminate amount of time. And as Mitch was saying, for those of you using Netflix Canada, you're fine for now. Although I've seen stories that the UK Netflix is going to lose Doctor Who in like 3 months. So Mitch, you may not be too far behind.
Yeah, they may have like a different timetable for their contract.
They'd have to take it
license,
off
whatever.
They'd have to take it off all the Canada streaming services as well, because I think it's also on Show Me, which I have.
Is that? Yeah.
Yeah. So all the other
there's Show Me and Crave TV, which are Canadian exclusives, and I think they both have Doctor Who as of right now, in addition to Netflix Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So we're good for now, but yeah, if they pull something here like what they're down there, then I'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, I have it all on DVD, so.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
I mean,
and it's still available for on iTunes, but essentially you're paying for it, like buying a DVD through iTunes.
Which,
so.
I mean, that's fine. I don't mind. I mean, that's okay. That is one legal way, but not everybody likes to use iTunes or even has Apple products or whatever. So it's just like, I don't know. Like, why? I mean, this is not a smart business model, and you guys are losing money, and you're complaining about your funding. And I know BBC Worldwide and BBC Proper or whatever the distinguishing thing is. I know it's 2 different things, but they all kind of fund. They go kind of in the same general fund umbrella thing. I don't know, but I'm like, you guys are really shooting yourselves in the foot here. I mean, I don't know. I can't believe that this was a smart decision on any part, because I mean, and again, I go back to what CBS has done, and they have their own little. Oh, we're going to have our own little version of Amazon or Netflix and Hulu and everything, and it's just like, you guys just don't run it very well. It's crap, and I can't believe anybody pays for this.
Well, what does CBS even air that people need to watch that.
Well, Big Bang Theory. They have Supergirl. Well, CSI now is on Hulu, so that's the one thing they gave up and let go to Hulu because they have like a million seasons.
Apparently, there's a new Star Trek that's starting next year. That's going to be episode is going to be their exclusive on their streaming service.
Yeah. Well, it's not even going to be on TV at all. It's just going to be online.
Exactly. Like the first episode, I think is going to be on TV, and then after that, it's exclusive to their streaming service. Like.
And maybe this is kickback from the network saying, "Oh, you got all these people, especially people our age and younger, are not buying cable, so there goes that stream of revenue. So like, oh well, let's just do the same thing that we make you pay for on cable, except we'll make you pay for it online, which is fine, but it adds up because you got Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, then you got CBS All Access, TNT, or iTunes." And now BBC, and it's like, it just keeps adding up. And then there's rumor that the CW is going to start putting their stuff on the same thing as CBS, because they're all owned by the same company. This is just rumor, so maybe I shouldn't repeat it, but I'm going to repeat it anyway. So it's like, okay, so what's the point of having, not having TV if we're just, we're all going to end up paying $60 anyway for all these different things, because it all adds up.
Mm-hmm. And even if money wasn't the issue, like, $8 here, $12 there, whatever per year for the different services, who wants to bounce around between different apps, different logins?
Exactly.
Yes.
Like with this case, I mean, obviously there's only so much of Doctor Who that was on Netflix and Hulu to begin with, but still, like, things like Friday Night Who, it's going to make it even harder.
Yeah, and everybody's going to go, like I said, to Daily Motion or torrents. Not that we're encouraging people to do this, because that is wrong, and you should feel bad.
Piracy is bad.
But
they're there because
like
demand.
You're already paying for Hulu, and then you got to go over and pay for BBC, and people are going to be like, well, screw this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go do this other thing with it. And
it's all about supply and demand.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like people already pay, like me, I already pay for Hulu. I'm not going to go pay for another service just so I can get BBC stuff. I mean, I buy things off iTunes, like you said. It's like buying the DVD. Because I buy the season passes for Doctor Who now. I don't buy the DVD box sets because I can't afford both. I want to spend my money on other things, but I don't know. I just look at it and I'm like, you're so dumb. Like you were getting all this, and it kind of like we brought up Star Trek, because Star Trek, like a lot of it, I think all of it it's on Netflix, and a bunch of it's on Hulu. I'm wondering how long it is before CBS takes those off. Here's our little special thing, and I'm like, punch you in the nose. Anyway,
I think, I mean, as frustrating as this is, the idea of having to have another account and maybe spend more money just so we can watch Doctor Who, that stings in itself. It makes you very frustrated. But I think it's even worse because there's not going to be any Doctor Who this year. So it's like, there's not going to be a Doctor Who on TV. What are people going to do in the downtime? Watch previous episodes on Netflix and Hulu. Maybe you had friends or family that are like, oh yeah, I've heard about that. I've been meaning to watch it, but I know people like this. Like, I've been wanting to watch it, but I don't want to watch it right now while it's on TV, because then I'll feel like I'm getting behind. I'll wait till it's not on. Now it's not on. They can't watch it.
Well, and my in-laws, they were like partway through Series 8 on Netflix, and they were getting through it, and we were like, when we were over there, we'd watch it with them and everything, and I don't know how far they've gotten. Last episode we watched with them was The Caretaker. We told them to skip Kill the Moon because it's awful. And then we're like, watch the rest, but I don't know if they've been able to do that. And I'm like, well, maybe they won't get to now. And I mean, I'll go over there with my laptop and say, here, I have it on iTunes, but you got to plug it into the iTunes thing.
Right.
And here's the other thing with iTunes, because there is, Apple TV, but they don't have it, but that's only on the little Apple TV device. Like, you can't, there's not an app for, like, say, Xbox or PlayStation or whatever you have that plays Apple stuff because they're very proprietary that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just frustrating. And I'm like, it used to be that you would buy, a VHS tape or a DVD and you could take it wherever you wanted because you owned that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to play it on certain devices that you may or may not have.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you're not going to, a lot of people these days are not going to buy, like, I don't buy the DVDs of Doctor Who. I buy through iTunes. It's a digital download, so it doesn't take up any space. I can transport it with me as long as I've got a computer, my computer, so I can watch it. But, because to buy the season just a season of New Who on DVD is like $60.
Yeah, it's very cost prohibitive. Even with the special features and stuff, it's still like, no, I don't really care.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, buying the box set is kind of like, it's kind of going out of style now, which is a weird thing to think about, but like even the extra features, you're like, so?
Mm-hmm. It's like, ooh, behind the scenes feature. Those are probably on YouTube somewhere.
That is true. They probably are. And not just like people putting them on there. It's actual, the company, their official channels are putting it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like after the fact, like before the most recent season started, that short, the Doctor's Meditation. It's like they showed in the movie theater, but then it was on YouTube on BBC and Doctor Who's YouTube channel like a couple days after. So if you didn't get to see it, you weren't left out because there was on YouTube through official channels.
Yeah, it's like, oh, wait for it, it'll be on YouTube, and there it is, and it's not even someone, with a shaky camera trying to hide in the theater. Like, nope, it's in good quality, it's up on YouTube, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Happy day.
Exactly. Just want to take whoever's in charge at the BBC and slap them around a little and say, "What are you doing?
You know what? I don't want to hear one more word about these campaigns of like save the BBC. Because I'm like, no, they keep shooting themselves in the foot. I have no sympathy for you morons. They keep making boneheaded decisions like this. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I know that's probably bad to say because they make one of my favorite TV shows ever. But I'm like, I mean, what do you want from me?
Besides money.
I give you plenty of my money, and then you screw me over like this.
Mm.
So, I mean, I will continue to give you my money as long as you produce good things like Doctor Who. But I don't want to hear you come crying to me. Oh, they're taking away our funding. Boo hoo. I'm not a nice person. I want everybody to know that right now.
Like, we are all happy fangirls until you try to take away our shows.
Yes. Yep. This
we're
is
like
when,
a kid. We're like a little kid, and you're trying to take away my favorite toy.
Out.
Yeah.
Like,
do not take away my favorite toy.
I don't know. Do not.
I will throw a tantrum.
Oh, I will.
Oh. Anyway. Soapbox. Let's set that aside.
Go away for until later.
Yeah. I'm not going to put it completely away because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need it here in a few minutes, but set it aside for now. Okay, rant over.
Mm-hmm.
At least for that subject. Moving on. Before we say something we regret.
To a bit of Heroes news on this podcast talking about Heroes.
Hey, imagine that.
So, last week's finale was the end of Heroes Reborn. There's not going to be any more Heroes Reborn. But according to this article that I found, there will be more heroes at some point. It'll just be under a different name.
Which, if that's not confusing.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I think they're doing something more like American Horror Story, where each season has a new subtitle.
And that would make sense.
So this season was Reborn. The next season, whenever it comes down the pipeline, will be titled something else.
Mm-hmm. Which was... So we'll get into more here in a minute for obvious reasons. So this is a pleasant surprise. We'll put it that way. A pleasant yet somewhat frustrating and confusing surprise.
Yeah, because there's no news on when it will be coming down the pipeline. Just that maybe it will at some point. Because the way Heroes Reborn ended,
yes,
they've clearly got more story to tell.
Yeah. But we'll get to that in a second.
But when he'll get to tell them is up in the air.
Right.
So you can, and listeners can take a look at the article for themselves to
right
see.
Yeah. Because it's not just Tim Kring that was saying it, like maybe putting a wish out there, but the NBC chairman actually backed him up. So on that comment, so, read into that what you will.
Hopefully we don't have to wait too long.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep a tight hold of this series until it comes back.
Yes.
As well, you should.
I'm not going to let it by the wayside of my fandom like I did last time it was off air.
Yeah.
I'm keeping a tight hold of Heroes.
That's good.
Sounds good. All right. That's it.
Speaking of,
well, that's it for
we have
proper news, but we are going into a new month, and unfortunately Holly's not here, and I don't think the poll for the book club is officially closed yet anyway, so stay tuned for our Facebook page, and Holly will post the winner for the book club. But also a new month means a new photo challenge.
Yep. And
yay!
This month is the ABCs of Classic Rock, which I sort of stole the idea from a local rock station. But oh well. I thought it was also somewhat important. Somewhat what am I trying to say?
Poignant.
Yeah, poignant with everyone who's passed away so far this month.
Yeah. So. And of course, the usual photo challenge, quote unquote, rules.
Yep.
Yeah. Details on our online.
Yep.
So, bands, albums, band members, artists,
yep,
that sort of thing.
Songs and anything goes if it's classic rock.
Yep. And I can already imagine, I can see probably what the two most popular choices for tomorrow are going to be for the letter A.
Yeah,
I know what first came to my mind, and then what came second. So we shall see. I'm not going to say anymore. But I imagine we're all thinking along the same lines.
Probably.
But, cool. It's exciting. New photo challenge.
Oh, yes.
Like it.
Indeed.
So, alrighty then. Okay, well, jumping right back to what we were talking about, not even 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
Heroes Reborn.
Yeah. And I just want, before we go on,
yes.
I didn't finish the series at all.
That's okay.
So I think I got to like episode 5 and I kind of got behind and never caught up. So, but feel free to spoil because I listened to to the other Heroes discussion that we did for the winter finale, quote unquote. Anyway, I will be quiet now. I didn't hear it, but I don't care. I didn't watch it. Anyway.
Well, I would say there were only 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So, to talk about here, and I Ugh, I don't know.
Did they cover everything that needed to be covered, or no?
No.
Okay.
No. And they definitely left it open to come back. And at the time, we didn't know that there was, as far as we knew, it was not coming back. So, of course, we get to the finale and we're all like, it ends on a cliffhanger. Because that's what they like to do. And
season 4 did too.
Yeah, and so we're all like, oh, great. They're leaving it open for a storyline we're never going to get to see. But now we might actually get to see it. So that makes it a little better with the way it ended. But until we actually see it, we're all, at least me, I'm kind of like, really? That's what you did with it? So, I mean, obviously, you can probably figure out, even if you didn't see it up to what you watched, Chrissy and anyone else, that yes, they did save the world.
Well, I assumed they would get to that.
The world did not end.
But in a very complicated and convoluted way, I'm sure.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. And there, in some of the art.
It was filmed in my hometown, so
yeah,
that makes me very happy.
Yes.
Which,
although the bit you got to see filmed did not make you happy.
Not so happy.
Yes, because Noah Bennett dies at the end of the final episode, and
after being missing for 3 episodes,
that scene filmed. Of course, I didn't realize that.
You saw his death scene then?
Yeah, I saw his death scene because at the end, Tommy and Melina. Well, he's going by Nathan now. So Nathan and Melina have saved the world, but the way they did it was their power. They have this combined twin power, but it had to be channeled through someone, and the person that it was channeled, and the channeling was fatal to the person. So they channeled their power through Noah Bennett. They saved the world, stopping the solar flare, and then he held on for a little bit afterwards. And there's the scene where they go over to him and are talking to him at the very end, like right when he dies. That's the scene I saw filmed on the Saturday, and you can totally tell it's raining. If you pay close attention to that scene where they're talking to him, you can totally tell it's raining in the background.
Which, you can just chalk that up to a side effect of solar flare.
Yeah, it's atmospheric disturbance.
Exactly.
Okay, so what is it? What is it with sci-fi shows and solar flares, like trying to end the world? I mean, how many times has that happened in Doctor Who?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most recently, Forest of the Night? I think.
Yeah, but it happened a lot in classic Who.
Well,
too.
yes.
They it didn't actually happen. They just would mention it, like, oh, years ago the solar flares forced us off planet, and now we have a colony on, whatever place in the universe.
Yeah. No, it was. I wasn't surprised that they stopped. Well, in Heroes Reborn case, it was actually 2 solar flares. There was going to be 2 back to back with another. The first one, apparently, Luke sacrificing himself stopped the first one.
Yeah, that was.
How exactly that works, I don't know. Considering it took 3 people to stop the second one.
He absorbed the energy from the solar flare because his powers were solar based.
Right.
So he absorbed that power like a battery and then overloaded.
Which I didn't even realize that's what had happened, because then Nathan and Melina stopped the flare with Noah, and for a second I was like, well, what about the second one? And I didn't realize that that's what Luke had done.
That was the second one.
I know, but I didn't realize that. I thought Luke had just got absorbed into the first one, and then it was still coming. It's just, it's just, even though I'm watching and I'm paying attention, just some of the things were just not really like explained that well. And I don't know if they just they like us going to the headcanon route or what. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It was very frustrating. It was sad to see Noah die, but kind of fitting at the same time because in the classics, series, I guess, classic Heroes, Heroes Prime, that there was always this, he was the company guy, and the company's thing was one of us, one of them meaning someone with powers, and then one of the company people who was just a regular everyday person, and Noah was always the one of us and always working with one of them, and now he finally, in a way, gets to be one of them and be a hero, not just Noah Bennett, guy with the horn rim glasses, adopted father of Claire Bennett, that sort of thing, father of the cheerleader. So it was, if Noah was going to go out, that was kind of a fitting way for him to do it, but at the same time, it's sad because he's been a staple of the entire series, and actually had things to do in this series as opposed to some of our other favorites that came back, like Hero, who we waited forever to Hero come back, and then he's back, and then he loses his powers, and we assume he dies, but maybe not, so we don't know where Hero is. Parkman was a complete disappointment in Reborn.
Well, yeah, I heard that in the in your guys' discussion of it, and I was like,
yeah,
Parkman, Matt, you're like my buddy.
Parkman was a complete disappointment, and and the way they left him in his car, in a ditch, in a creek, laughing because he's lost his mind because he thinks he's gonna die and his family's gonna die. That's where they left Parkman.
Well, I hope Greg Grunberg's character in Star Wars gets a better thing.
And I don't know if Greg's involvement in Star Wars had anything to do with what happened to Parkman in this, or I don't know. I can kind of understand with Hero because Masaoka is on Hawaii Five-0, so he's got another series that he's working on full time.
He's really I've seen him in Hawaii Five-0 a couple of times, and he does a really good job there. So I'm glad he's had success there, even though Heroes didn't. Well, it panned out, but not great.
Yeah. So I can kind of understand that, but yeah, Parkman was just, and Micah, this whole thing with the web series with Hero Truther and all this, and then we don't see Micah till like the last 4 episodes, something like that, 3-4 episodes, and then Micah does a little bit at exposing Erica to the public, but even then, her plan still kind of works, but not really, but kind of it does. And then Micah ends up in a hospital helping it tend to the injury, which is good, but the whole thing with Carlos and that side story was almost not necessary, and it was a mess. It's a hot mess. There's so many parts of it that I loved and hated. I hated Erica because she was such a well-written villain. I loved Miko, Katana Girl, and I think she was a great character. I love Katana Girl, even though the actual Miko ended up not doing anything except being locked up. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's because I don't understand what they were thinking. Maybe Tim needs to come and be like, okay, this is really what was supposed to happen, or this was our thought process. I need explanations is what I need. Dear Mr. Kring, give me answers. Explain this to me, please.
When I see Heroes, there's a lot of stilted, high-handed, heavy-handed conversation. And it's like, okay, you can't write something, that high-minded and have it be, for a general audience. Like, and even people like us who, we're immersed in genre, stories, television, books, whatever, and we get that. Sometimes it gets so preachy almost, and a little, not even want to say preachy. I want to say like it's very ivory tower, I guess, like very cerebral. That's what is the word I'm thinking of? Cerebral. And it's like, well, that's great, but I came here to be entertained and enjoy a good story. This is kind of not what I meant. But yeah.
Because
like even the other day, yesterday, I was like, I knew we were talking about Heroes. I'm like, oh, I could try watching a few episodes. And I started watching The Lion's Den, and I was like, eh. And I'd had a really hard day, and I'm like, this is not what I need to relax. I need something else. This is not it.
Yeah, someone like me and someone like you guys, where we're used to the superhero genre, with the Marvel universe, and with you guys, because I haven't gotten into it yet, but the DC universe with Arrow and Flash, and now Legends of Tomorrow and all that. So the whole superhero concept is not above us.
No,
we understand heroes and villains, and some continuity and backstory and time travel and all that. Like, we can understand that, but
don't make it so complicated. Well, like you mentioned, Arrow. Like I was watching it because my other brother-in-law and his wife watch it, and they were behind a couple episodes. So I was at my in-laws. We were all just sort of sitting around watching it, and I'd already seen the 2 episodes. And even though Arrow's on the CW, and the CW has a certain reputation of being like very soapy and whatever, like Arrow is it's a thoughtful show. It's very. And it has some of those high concepts, but they communicate them in a way that makes sense to everybody. Like, everybody can connect with them. And yes, there's some drama and whatever, but it's still it's telling a good story. It doesn't put the high concepts above telling a good story, which I think Heroes kind of sometimes has that problem. And I say this as someone who enjoys the show, but sometimes it gets so dense, and I can't get past some of it.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that. Just
like we can remember Hero, and we can remember Claire, and like even this with Heroes Reborn, I can remember Tommy, who apparently is Nathan Petrelli, actually, but some of these others, I'm like,
he's Nathan Bennett, if you want to get.
We need to distinguish him from his grandfather. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, see, okay, I didn't get all that.
Yeah.
So anyway, but it's like a lot of the characters just kind of ran together, and I can't tell one from the other sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that whole Carlos thing you kept referring to. I'm like, who's that? Oh, right, that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about it. He was very forgettable.
Yeah, that storyline was kind of weird because it didn't have much to do with the rest of the storyline until like the very end.
Yeah.
And even then it was only kind of.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, he ended up being the one to help rescue Micah, which was good, although Micah ended up not really doing a whole lot. The few things he did were important, but Micah ended up not really doing a whole lot. So he needed rescuing, so Carlos was the one to do that, and it just so happens that Carlos happened to be in the military with the lady who was protecting Melina and helping train her. So it's like the
those kinds of connections are common in the Heroes universe.
Yes, but they could have easily.
That's the way the Heroes universe works.
Yeah, but they could have easily rescued Micah with someone completely different, and still made it work. That's my point. So it's just, yeah, it was frustrating. Is frustrating. Like, as much as I wanted to enjoy it, and I did enjoy it. That's the thing, is I make it sound like I just hated every second of it when I didn't. I really didn't. There were parts that I really liked, and there were parts I really didn't like. There's a lot of peaks and valleys, and not enough, good times, I guess, in the middle.
There are a lot of extremes and not much in the middle.
And how convoluted. But I guess that's just me.
Yeah.
Well, and if that's what you enjoy, then that's what you enjoy. That's great.
Yeah.
And maybe I shouldn't say so much because like I said, I didn't finish the series, and I said I was going to be quiet.
Yeah. And then unfortunately, Holly's not here because I'd be interested to hear what she has to say, because she was watching Heroes Prime at the same time as watching this to see what she thinks is somebody fairly new to the Heroes fandom, and based on what, because I don't think she's finished Heroes Prime yet, hopefully, this convolution of Heroes Reborn doesn't turn her off finishing the original series.
Yeah, because I like the original Heroes Prime. But, there's a lot to like about it and a lot to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And a lot, and even with the one shortened season because of the writer's strike, they had their fault. Yeah, they had the time and the budget to flesh out and really tell their story. Even though some of the plots with Heroes Prime could make your head spin a little bit, especially when you got a lot of time travel involved. But I think maybe what made Reborn suffer somewhat, because it was shortened. They only had so many episodes, and they probably didn't have the budget that they had before. That maybe with more time and more episodes to really flesh everything out, that it may have been better. I think maybe they just tried to cram too much, because, like what we were saying in the news, that according to Tim Kring and the chairman of NBC, the plan always was for Reborn to be its own chapter, as Heroes likes to do. Each season is a chapter.
It's a volume.
As a volume. And they knew it had to be within the certain, with this at the beginning and this at the end, and you had this amount of episodes to do it. And that made it suffer. I don't know. Not knowing what went on behind closed doors. Not that we should be privy to everything that happens, as far as the decision making with these shows and all that. But at the same time, when you leave your fans just this frustrated, I think maybe you owe them some sort of explanation or something.
Well, and maybe you're right. Maybe it is the mini series format, like when they had 24, Live Another Day. It was like the ending. It left me wanting more, but not in a good way. It was like, you didn't explain so many things, and plus a lot of things happened that I was not happy with anyway. But maybe it's just like when you try to convert a show that was once a full 20+ episode season, but this mini series, and you're used to telling longer stories that take a lot longer time. and then you have to do something really short, and maybe that's the challenge. Maybe that's what the challenge is.
Maybe, and especially with the superhero genre, that because the comic book based stuff can be very complicated. That a miniseries is not the best format for a show like this, which just came back, and everyone's loving it. But the X-Files, has an overall mythos to the series, but because they did the Monster of the Week thing a lot, that it probably is better suited for even just coming back for a short run. So, but that's just me, again, in my opinion. My 2 cents. I'll get off my soapbox now, again.
There's a lot of soap flying around here, isn't there?
Yeah. Somebody's ranting again.
Well, Mitch, why don't you talk about what you liked?
Since
you enjoyed it.
Well, I did finally getting to see the scenes that I saw filmed back in October, which the other scene I saw was the one where Melina comes out of Gateway Tower and says to Quentin, "It's time," right after they've gone down to where Phoebe's body landed, and then she comes down and starts using her power to try and control the solar flare. That was the other scene that I saw filmed, which I knew she was using the power. I didn't know she was using her power to control a solar flare, or to try to control a solar flare. That was bigger than I thought it was.
I'm sure that probably looked a little interesting watching them filming it, because she's standing out there with her hands all like
the solar flare effect.
Imagine it was
and the explosions. Those were the explosions I saw when the debris comes and impacts behind her and blows up those flower bed. Mm-hmm. Those big planters.
Mm-hmm.
Those, when it blows up those, that's what I saw. That's where I saw the explosions. So that was really exciting.
I'm sure that does make it a bit more fun for you.
It does.
Yeah.
It was filmed in my backyard.
Yeah. Practically, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was cool. And I knew that Nathan was getting Hero's sword because I saw him with it in the Noah Bennett death scene. So, and I really liked how Nathan was like, "You put me in a place with no time," so I was able to practice with my time control powers, and now I'm way better than Hero ever was, and I can stop this because of how good I am. And yeah. And the callback to the end of Heroes Prime with Claire's jump off the Ferris wheel and telling little Nathan that was his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah.
Which would, that makes sense as far as the the timeline, because he knew who he was up to a certain point, and knew, his backstory up until he had his memories taken from him. So, but now he got those memories back.
Yeah.
Thanks to himself.
Yep.
Being stuck inside Evernow.
Yep. And then Angela bringing them together when they were 7 to test their combined power.
Right.
Which, them trying to keep them separate makes a little bit of sense if she was trying to avoid that.
Right. Yeah. And just her using the excuse that he would take her powers.
Yeah.
Was it easier excuse than saying, no, if you two touch each other, you might kill each other.
Yeah.
Wonder Twin powers do not activate when you two come together.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Because it's bad.
You needed to wait till the time was right.
Right. Oh. Okay. So, can you explain to me, with the timelines that we saw and the way things, the last time we saw Angela, she was old and gray. How was she not old and gray at the end of the episode?
It was past Angela? I don't know.
That was one of the things where I'm like...
If it was the Angela that was native to 2006.
I don't know. It's one of those things. Sorry. I'm going to get on my soapbox again. Wait, how does that work?
We know she's manipulative, and we know she can dream the future.
Well,
so
yes.
it wouldn't surprise me that while the whole plot to blow up New York was going on, she was also engineering this other plot to save the world from a solar flare 9 years in the future.
Well, yeah, that's true. I wouldn't hold that past Angela Petrelli. You've got a point. But it was just one of those things like, wait, why is she not old and gray? Last time we saw her, she was ancient. This does not compute.
Well, last time we saw her when she was ancient was also in 2014.
Yeah. So, timey-wimey. Timey-wimey. Oh, the timey-wimey.
Yeah.
Well, it'll probably get explained when
hopefully. And
when it comes back.
Apparently we're going to find out about the twins' father.
Yeah.
That's what the cliffhanger was.
Yeah. And of course
it
was
coming back for them, and something bad is going to happen because of that.
Yeah. Because it can't be like, oh, it's your father. Hey, you're going to finally get to have a relationship with him. No, it's like, Angela's all like, your father is coming for you, and no one can save you.
Death,
Are there
destruction,
any good parents in Heroes?
No.
The Heroes was there
apparently not. What did Tim Crean have a falling out with his parents or something when he was younger?
I mean, there was some
I shouldn't tease, but I do.
Yeah, let's say Noah wasn't.
Oh yeah,
a bad parent.
Noah was decent.
Yeah.
Once he renounced the company.
Yeah.
True.
And Hero wasn't a bad adoptive father to Nathan.
Yeah.
So. But good parents and Heroes far and few between.
Yeah.
It's like Parkman. Parkman supposedly was working for Erica because Eric could use his power, especially his power, being able to persuade people to do things, not just read their minds. And in exchange, she would guarantee he and his family were safe from the solar flare. But then we find out that, Parkman's trying to save. Well, Parkman was trying to save his family, whom he didn't even have that good of a relationship with to begin with, because apparently his wife wasn't talking to him.
Well, Matt's relationship with his wife was rocky all throughout Heroes Prime.
Well,
so
yes.
There's
a precedent for that, but still.
Yeah. And, I don't know. I always wanted Matt just to have, be happy with his wife and kids somewhere. But
it's just unfortunate that after all this time, And as much as I liked Matt Parkman as a character, kind of in general, that after all this time, Parkman is still essentially weak and is a pushover, and people get him to do things for them that if he was, had half a spine, he wouldn't do. So Parkman hasn't learned from his past mistakes, even after all this time. And that's what kind of bites, because he could be a so much better character if he would learn. But, again, that's just me on my soapbox.
He's flawed.
He's flawed, but there's flawed, and then there's Matt Parkman flawed.
True. He could stand to be a little less flawed.
Yeah. It's like, grow a backbone, Matt. Jeez Louise. If I get to see Greg at the Lexington Comic-Con, I'm gonna have words. We're gonna have words.
He's just gonna be like, I just read what they told me.
Yeah.
It's what was on the script.
Like, that's not good enough.
I know. Like, squee over him in Star Wars. Because when I saw him in Star Wars, I was like, it's Matt, I love him. Yeah. And yep.
It took me a little bit to realize that's who that was. I'm like, wait, you're in the wrong fandom.
Yeah, I was like, wait,
wrong universe, dude.
Is that who I think it is? And I didn't get it until like the credits. Like, no, wait, what?
His voice is quite distinctive.
True.
I think it was the beard that threw me off.
Well, even that, I saw his face. I'm like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
I like that guy. Maybe it's just because I was such a big Matt Parkman fangirl back in the day that I'm like, oh, I love you and I want to squish you because you're so darn squishable and I like you.
Yeah.
Which actually explains a lot.
And, as much as I'm complaining, because it sounds like I'm complaining a lot. Okay, I am complaining a lot. The
fans complaining about something?
Never.
No.
There were a few things that did happen in the finale that I did agree with. One, Erica got what was coming to her. Although I guess in theory they could figure out a way for her to come back, but I hope not.
I think they're closing the door on Erica Craven.
They're
moving on to new bad guys.
Yeah, like apparently the twins' father.
We shall see.
I hope he's somebody new and not someone we've seen before, because that would just be frustrating. I guess Phoebe got what was coming to her too.
Yeah.
For good or for bad. Unfortunately,
I didn't realize she was dead in that scene. I knew something bad had happened to her. I didn't realize what.
Oops.
Because I was watching them filming that scene, and it's like, is that Phoebe? I think that's Phoebe. Oh, good, Quentin found her. And I didn't all the stuff that had happened between
Quentin didn't find her.
Quentin
killed her.
And what? I did not see that coming. Like, I saw the... I didn't know the context.
Yeah. No.
I didn't know.
Phoebe was a lost cause, though. She was not in touch with reality at all. She was gone. There was no saving her.
No.
So she is completely gone psychologically. So.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Quentin, he's the one that ended up pulling the trigger. But it is what it is. So, And I'm sure he's sad about it, but at the same time, he probably feels like he did her a favor, which I think he did.
Mercy killing.
Yeah, it was a mercy killing, and now he's in jail. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily related to the fact that he shot his sister, or if it's just his involvement with the Evos in general. Because Erica's not around to be arrested. So,
yeah.
She's kind of 7,000 plus years in the future.
The little speech, the one you quoted at the beginning of the episode, I do like that. Like, they're just people like us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anyone can be a hero. It's just being given the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not necessarily about having powers. It's stepping up.
Although the powers do help.
Well, yes, they do. But, you know, like in Noah's case, you know.
No powers.
No powers.
He was able to save the world.
Exactly. Exactly. Because as we've seen, having powers.
His adopted daughter's children.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, maybe eventually Quentin will get released. Maybe not. I guess that, you know, the authorities want him to turn over, give them the names of the people involved, and he's refusing, which good for Quentin.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yay, someone with principles.
Yes. Parkman could learn a thing or two from Quentin. But where else did we leave off everyone else? Carlos and Melina's trainer lady. They're off fighting crime as the El Matador or whatever his crime fighting name is. The real Miko is back with her father and Ren, and Miko has no memory. She didn't retain the electronic Miko's memories from being plugged into Evernow. So
makes sense.
Yeah, it does. But now, you know, Ren's got to build up a whole new relationship with the real life Miko. But they seem to be doing all right. They were training at Miko's father's is it dojo? Would that be the proper term?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. And Nathan's working at the ice cream shop with his girlfriend.
So he pulled a Rupert Grint?
I guess.
Sort of, except it's a shop, and he did get the job at the shop before all this kicked off. So
true. He said ice cream shop, and I'm like, yeah, he retired and bought an ice cream truck.
Yeah. Apparently, they both got to keep
Union Wells High School in Odessa.
Mm-hmm.
Like her mom.
Mm-hmm. Just hanging out, being a teenager.
We'll see how that turns out for her.
Yeah. Well, for 3 months, it works until both she and Nathan get their father's calling card, I guess. I don't know what those were. They look like tarot cards. They were
tarot cards.
Okay.
Yeah. For the twins and the destroyer.
Yeah.
So.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
No. And it's not like the twin, you know, it's not like neither Nathan or Melina know who their father is.
Which does lead me to believe that it's someone new, since the idea of tarot cards is one that hasn't been in the series before that scene.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing their version of Gambit from X-Men.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yep.
Well, maybe we'll find out eventually.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't take too long.
Yes. And hopefully they've learned from their mistakes. from trying to do this, trying to fit Heroes into a miniseries format, and whenever we get the next one, the next volume, that they'll have better planned it out. I mean, the whole taking a break with only 3 episodes left in the series in itself was weird.
Yeah.
I don't think that was Tim Kring's fault. I think that was NBC's fault, because
it was probably
that sounds like a network thing.
Yeah, because NBC wanted to do like The Wiz Live and all these other special programs over the month of December and the holidays and all that. But still,
it seems clear that they weren't.
Yeah.
Like the way the series was constructed, it was clear that they weren't planning on breaking then, but something happened behind the scenes.
Yeah, what they should have done was start it early and have it go through the fall, and then have it be done by the winter break.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
NBC does some really weird stuff.
Yeah.
Telling me.
This must be something symptomatic with being a television network or something. I don't know.
Well, ABC seems to have a handle on how their scheduling works.
Well,
so.
it's Disney.
That is true. Disney knows what the
Disney
heck they're
knows
doing.
what they're doing. Yeah. Disney knows exactly how to break things up to give the maximum amount of get you right there in the feels.
Mm-hmm.
with the shipping and the OTPs and all the.
And their marketing's a little bit better, I have to say.
Yeah. Well, when you've been in business for almost 100 years,
Yeah. There's a reason they've been around so long.
Yeah, just a little. They've kind of got this thing figured out. Just a little. So, all right. Well, after all that ranting and raving, anyone have anything else they would like to add?
Well, Arrow and the Flash are really good, and so was Legends of Tomorrow.
Go watch Agent Carter. You'll walk away with a much better taste in your mouth. Again, it was not terrible. It's just it wasn't quite right. It's like a recipe, and you get a batch of cookies, and it's like they're not bad, but they could be better. So just tweak it a little for the next go round, and I think you will have a winner on your hands. So, especially if you keep, some of these characters that were actually pretty darn good. Although I don't know what they would do with Miko now if they tried to bring her back, because she's not a living video game anymore. She's an actual human being. So I don't know how. I'm sure the real life Miko was very awesome and probably could still kick your butt, but not in the same way a living video game could. Just saying. But if you want to, if they could figure out a good way to bring her back, I'm all for it, because I loved Miko. If Hero happens to still be alive, please bring Hero back, because Hero is awesome.
Hero is the best character they ever had.
Parkman does not need to come back ever.
And I say that as a Matt Parkman fangirl, but everyone can agree Hero was always the best.
Yes. Hero was the best. Parkman can stay gone. I'm sorry, Greg. Unless they're going to do some major character development with Matt Parkman, I'm done with Parkman. Unfortunately, as a character.
That disheartens me, but well, stuff happens.
Yeah. And based on where it left it off, we know that Nathan and Melina will come back. Unfortunately, that means probably Angela as well, because Angela can't keep her mitts out of anything.
I never liked her in the first series either.
No, me either.
Yeah, really. You want to talk about bad parents and heroes.
Angela's the worst.
Angela is the absolute...
We've held her up and we're like, Exhibit A.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very much so.
Although I'm kind of hoping Peter does make an appearance, or at least we get a mention of him.
Yeah, it's like all of this is going on, and where was Peter?
Yeah, I was
like, unless Peter was like on a different planet or something, I don't know how he could have avoided any of this. What was going on, especially towards the end when they end up in Odessa, of all places.
Yeah.
Like, is in the same place, and Melina at one point is at the same school where everything began for him, was saving Claire from Siler. It's like, Peter, where are you? Hell, bring back Siler.
Yeah, what's Zachary Quinto up to these days?
Zachary Quinto's a bit busy with Star Trek, but...
Well, unless they start...
Bring back Siler.
Unless they start filming another Star Trek before they start filming the next volume of Heroes, I think he'll be free. Possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who knows about any of this?
We don't.
Really.
We are not the masters in time and space. We do not know the future. We're not Angela either. Thank goodness.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want to be here even if you paid me.
About now.
Any dreams I have, I keep them to myself. Also because they don't make sense anyways. But then again, neither do Angela's. Anyway. Okay. I'm done.
Anyway.
I'm done. I'm now.
Well, anyway, dear listeners, if you want to join in on our rant-a-thon, or if there was something about Heroes Reborn that you would like to highlight on this very podcast, or anything else that we have discussed or will discuss whenever, you can contact us at our email address is 5ishfangirls@gmail.com, and also you can go to our website, the 5ishfangirlspodcast.blogspot.com, and that's actually the easiest because there you will find all of our contact avenues. You can go through Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube, and also our Patreon account. We do appreciate and heartily thank all of our Patreon subscribers, because that helps us keep our podcast coming through the feeds to your lovely earbuds. That sounded weird. Anyway, but yeah, those are all the places you can find us, and just go to our website. You'll find all the links, and we will, if you contact us, leave a comment or send us email feedback, we'll read it out on the podcast, and your wonderful opinions can be heard here as well as anywhere else you care to leave them.
Mm-hmm.
And we love hearing from our listeners, because that makes us happy. We have listeners. I know we do, because I see like interactions on Facebook and things that we post there, and people like our stuff and leave comments, and we appreciate all y'all for that and everything. And this is, this whole fandom thing. I'm gonna be a little sappy here if I may. I just, like I said earlier, I'm getting married this week, and part of the reason I am is because I got into fandom and found things and people I could enjoy, the things that I enjoyed and people I could enjoy them with. And this Thursday I'm gonna marry somebody who I kind of found through fandom and, well, through various other things, but that was a big sticking point in our relationship. And you never know, guys and girls. Mm-hmm. You just never know. So don't give up. Be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's That is my sage wisdom. Like anyone really needs it. Anyway.
Yep.
That's it.
Alrighty then. With that, I guess we shall sign off for this week.
This is Brittany Rhoda saying goodnight.
This is Chrissy saying goodnight from Salt Lake City.
This is Mitch saying goodnight from Kitchener, Ontario.
And this
the
is
site of the finale of Heroes Reborn. I just want to put that out there one more time.
If you find yourself in the area and want to visit those locations, contact Mitch on Twitter and she will tell you.
Downtown, but we're putting in light rail transit right now, so it's kind of, there's lots of construction, so maybe wait till the LRT is in.
Yeah.
Which could take a few years. Sorry.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah. Kitchener City Hall, filming site of the Heroes Reborn finale. If you want to check it out, you can, but be aware there is lots of construction in the area at the moment, as of recording.
Cool. Alright. And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. And you know what? Even as frustrated as I was with all of this, I still want to cosplay Katana Girl at some point.
Oh, you should. You should.
You have been listening to the 5-ish Fangirls podcast. Any and all movies, books, games, and other forms of media mentioned are owned and operated by the respective copyright holders. No copyright infringement is intended or implied.